Welcome everyone to this morning Crypto Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. The financial markets showed great momentum, and yesterday we saw the typical profit taking, which is completely normal. So France, Pavel Durov are being prosecuted for organized crime money laundering. In this context, when you go after Telegram, you're aware that the world's top hackers are mostly in Eastern countries, especially in Russia and North Korea. So what was bound to happen, happened. French government websites are under attack from Russia, which could also be working with North Korea and others. I think it'll be decided tomorrow, so on the 28th, we'll get the final verdict on the Telegram and Pavel situation. Europe closed with minor changes in a cautious mood. I'd say there was simply some profit-taking after a strong week, especially on the Nasdaq. Profit-taking and high tension, we'll see that tomorrow. There's a major event. Let's look at that right now. Some market stats too. Paris up 0.18, S&P 500 down 0.32, Nasdaq down 0.85 after last week's surge. Everyone has their preferences, but the stablecoin market hit a new high, which is fascinating. I'm not sure if everyone understands how stablecoins work. There are no stablecoins until you want to buy them. They issue stablecoins when you buy and burn them when you sell for Bitcoin or altcoins. So they burn the stablecoin when you switch to Bitcoin or an altcoin. The supply fluctuates based on market demand. More demand means more stablecoins issued. The total is now a staggering 168 billion. It might surpass Ethereum one day. It's at an all-time high. We're far from market 88s, but in terms of stablecoins, it's very significant. It indicates that many large investors are gearing up for massive purchases. The belief, which we shouldn't forget, is that the next 12 months will be exceptional, it's hard to say, but it's the next 2 months until mid-October roughly, and generally look at October, November, December. We'll be in a great phase at year's end and early 2025, but in the coming weeks, and I think this is the best approach, it's what I do, I'm sharing it with you. Then PayPal, which is nearing $1 billion in market cap, they launched it not long ago, in 2023, and it's simply gradually taking its place, especially with all that's potentially happening with MiCA, Europe, and USDT. It could become a credible candidate, PUSD and other stablecoins. So unfortunately, this is bad news, but it's obvious. We often talk about halving, and we know it'll be bullish for us at some point. But for miners, it's a very complex economic equation, and sadly, there are always bankruptcies. So there's a bankruptcy, it's a miner, called rhodium. Simply put, at some point it can be a short-term liquidity crisis. But anyway, bankruptcy is bad news for this company, though often it was the same 4 years ago. There were bankruptcies, and at some point it gave practically very interesting opportunities for the market to recover. So that's incredibly interesting. Stacks, it's been a while since we talked about Nakamoto. It's an upgrade, an update that's coming soon. And quite simply, it's a massive topic. It's DeFi on Bitcoin. It's interesting that there's news around Stacks. It's been part of my eternal top 3 with CKB and ETAO, an exceptional token because it tries to go beyond what Bitcoin does at its core. But in any case, BlackRock is really accumulating assets. They have the high share, but they also have their own strategic fund that's really for them. And when we talk about BlackRock ETFs, remember ETFs don't actually belong to BlackRock. They're for clients. BlackRock acts as a broker taking commissions. That's their main business. So when we say BlackRock has 200,000 Bitcoin, it's not BlackRock's Bitcoin. It belongs to hundreds of banks, pension funds, and others around the world, though many are in the US. However, they've also set up a global strategic fund with their own capital, accumulating about 4,000 Bitcoin, similar to MicroStrategy, as if they're building their own reserves. They're definitely positioning themselves. They were buying Bitcoin, which is huge compared to long-term trends. Interestingly, Trump might offer Musk a role in his cabinet more as a consultant on innovation and artificial intelligence. That's what he hinted at, though it's not very clear. A sort of big consulting role for Trump to advise on AI and tech innovation, giving some very good ideas. Market-wise, it's not exceptional. We have a KT that's not doing well. Bitcoin, always unpredictable, will watch closely as I'll track it daily. I think there'll be good opportunities ahead. Maybe wait till the 28th, some are already positioning. I think we should look at the charts to see if there are interesting volume trends slowly returning. 27 billion is significant, better than yesterday's sub 10 billion on Ethereum. It's gradually coming back, but not yet at 2006 levels. 63,000. Let's look at some intriguing charts and tokens to watch in the coming weeks. What I wanted to show you today. We don't often look at monthly Bitcoin charts. I'm not sure, but chart experts might agree. It's forming a monthly triangle pattern with increasingly smaller candles. Look, it's becoming ultra dynamic for the future. Will it go north or south? I think we're heading north. Maybe early September we'll see one last dip, but ultimately we'll take off. It could be the final move. All right, let's head straight north, and I think we're immediately going to do a series of 88s, but monthly. It's interesting. I think we're forming a triangle if we remove the wicks. That's a kind of compression at the monthly level too. On the weekly chart, I found it interesting to share that we're touching the bottom of the range with the 50-day moving average. So that's a support level, and for me it's solid. There are two huge supports there, even the 50, which is a very long-term moving average. Will we hit 53,000? It's entirely possible at some point before going higher. That's why USDT might be a good, very short-term strategy. If it explodes, well, it explodes. We have portfolios, we'll benefit, but it's better to prepare for a negative scenario where we take one last hit. So that's how I prepare for your information regarding the 50-day moving average. We're at 53,000. We just hit an all-time high and we're making new highs one after another. The last ATH was 48,000, so it's ATH after ATH. The 100-day moving average is at 38,000. We're now crossing above the 200-day moving average. 38,000 was the highest here at 38,800. So soon for the 100-day MA, we'll make a new ATH. Finally, this is where we see that Bitcoin in the very long term, really for people investing with a 10-year horizon. You take the 200-week moving average and look, it just keeps steadily rising and is approaching $40,000. So I think we have a great support level here in case of a huge black swan event. Imagine this area in a worst case scenario. I don't really believe it, but you never know. That's how to prepare long term. But what I really want to say is that with 50, 100, 200-day MAs, that's it. We have what we need to really start a bull market. It's set to happen in the coming days or weeks. In our theme, I like the nice convergence of the 50-day moving average. We're right between the 50-day and the 100 and 200-day moving averages. We're in the middle. Not much to say. Nice convergence. If they merge like the 50 and 100 did, all three will converge. That could potentially lead to an explosive moment at some point. Tau is on a really strong trend. I think Nvidia's results will directly impact Tau. Since the 200 double bottom, it's exploding, and to me that's a bull flag. We're waiting for a breakout above the 400 zone in the big picture. As for Toncoin, it took a big hit, but I think it's now starting to be an opportunity. It was yesterday, and still is today around 5. Maybe wait for the verdict on the 28th, but it's starting to reach very interesting price levels that we'll keep watching. Toncoin is at a critical point. We're at the lowest since launch. We've never been this low. These levels are extremely interesting, but maybe show some patience until tomorrow at least. Moving on to Flux. Some tokens are showing promising signs, possibly a double bottom or a reversal beginning. In recent weeks, Flux has been showing good momentum. Let's talk about Render, as Nvidia's results will impact it. Render was a star early this year, but why is no one talking about it now? It's down 76%, which is exactly why we should be discussing this type of project now. My stance hasn't changed. I think it's a solid project, my top pick in the GPU sector, and I believe it's undervalued at the moment. Now remember, we've discussed many themes, the halving, interest rate cuts, and so on. But for me, the big upcoming issue is the American elections. Over a year ago, I recommended this token, and many criticized me for it. Now it's up 10x since we started accumulating last year. I think PP still has potential for good performance, and right now it's at a good level because it's a token. You'll see when the market. Getting back to green with Bitcoin, it's unfortunately one of those tokens, the same coins that quickly surge, and it's now on a major support level on the 200-day moving average. And as you know, it's still a big success today. Similarly with 7x or 8x gains on this token, Vojak. It's riskier, but I think it could make a big splash. I invested quite a bit back then, put in about $400. It's a token that's dropped significantly today. We've seen PP, the big cap coins in billions, holding the 200 MA, but Voyak's taking a big hit. It broke its 200-day average, might go lower as it seems to be forming a bear flag. I'll watch it closely, and if it keeps dropping, I might buy more personally. I really like this character, and it's only worth 23 million now. Let's see how it goes. Even some numbers, you'll see it's the kind of token that obviously can be worth 0, but could simply go 100x compared to what I paid a year ago. It's still up 600%, but you can see that since the start of the year, it's nearly at its lowest and could fall further. I see what looks like a bear flag pattern. If it drops more, I think there might be a chance for those wanting some meme coins. I invest small amounts, even though this token is sort of my favorite in the meme coin world. We'll see how it does. So that's all from me. I wish you a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye everyone.